was really tone deaf. It lacked a lot of empathy.
You should be expecting a lot of turnover coming soon.
Your sales during the pandemic actually boomed.
What would you say at the town hall to motivate employees? Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Mike.
Chris?
Today we'll be reacting to the Leave Pity City CEO who tells her worried employees that they won't be getting their bonuses.
Let's play.
Great question, Chris. A lot of questions came through about how can we stay motivated if we're not going to get a bonus. Don't ask about what are we going to do if we don't get a bonus. Get the damn $26 million. Spend your time and your effort thinking about the $26 million we need and not thinking about what you're going to do if we don't get a bonus. All right? Can I get some commitment for that? I would appreciate it. I had an old boss who said to me one time, you can visit Pity City, but you can't live there. So people, leave Pity City. Let's get it done. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yikes.
You guys?
First of all, I don't like being yelled at.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, she reminds me of an elementary school teacher who yelled at me enough times.
Right?
But
So this is an employee town hall with the CEO where they're supposed to be connecting with the upper managers. Instead, you have her talking down to her trusted employees that she either hired directly or indirectly, right? So I don't get why she's talking down to employees like they're children. They should be fully grown adults that she's trying to be motivating, not degrading.
yeah. So my take on the actual messaging that she did to her, that she did with her employees is that it was really tone deaf. It lacked a lot of empathy. It lacked. And all I could see was just frustration and lacked a lot of professionalism for the most part, which is
definitely,
especially for her who is at the upper echelons in corporate America, being the president and CEO of a company. She needs a lot of training in how to be professional. And given the fact that she went to Harvard for that advanced management program certification, I'm not seeing that in this. I'm not seeing examples of that in this messaging.
She needs to visit her textbooks.
Exactly.
Like the fact that we're able to see this publicly on social media, that means some of our employees were not too happy with her. They recorded and posted it, putting her on blast.
Exactly. Well, yeah. So her kudos on the employees for I guess within that company they must espouse a culture of transparency. So the questions that she was receiving from her employees, I guess the employees weren't afraid enough to ask her those questions. But now, given her tone of voice in this messaging, I think they're going to think twice going forward if she's still the president and CEO of that company moving forward, and if those same employees who are going to remain there. If I was if I were some of those employees, especially in the sales, clearly she was talking to the sales team because they are the revenue drivers. And in sales management, I learned that in a sales funnel, they need to generate demand, and demand is usually generated by these by field sales agents or consultants within the company. So if I were them, I'd start looking at the competition, and I'm sure they're very well qualified, and they're probably getting poached and recruited all the time by the competition to join their team.
Yeah, she should be expecting a lot of turnover coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, given the fact that she was complaining that, she's preaching to her employees that they're not going to get a bonus, which is very hypocritical of her because given her compensation, people have dug it up in the internet, her total compensation with bonus, which she is guaranteed under her contract for 2022, she received a compensation of about $3 million.
Jeez.
So,
right, during COVID time, she's excelling.
Yeah,
while her employees are struggling.
Exactly. And one thing that really popped out at me with some of the messaging and then saying that her company could not predict all these predicaments that were happening. Keep in mind, the office furniture sales during the pandemic actually boomed.
Oh yeah, because of all the home office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people who had to work from home they were given us a home office bonus. Sorry, a home office
budget to expense. Yeah.
To expense. Guess where they were ordering this from?
If you were in her position, what would you say at the town hall to motivate employees?
Well, first of all, I take ownership, being the actual, you're literally the top of the food chain in that company. You're the president, CEO. You're leading. Clearly, you have to be a little more self-aware, take some self-reflection of how you got to that point. She mentioned that, sales were down. I'm assuming that, no, sales weren't down. There were probably high demand. They just couldn't meet demand because of their supply chain issues. I would have done a postmortem on that and saw, okay, we effed up on the supply chain side. We did not build up enough inventory to meet the demand.
If you were her, would you reduce your bonus so that your employees can get bonuses and to get them motivated
I would not have
the next quarter, essentially?
I would not have, not only not have taken the bonus, at the same time, I would have actually cut my pay and have clearly that, you know what pisses me off about some of these CEO salaries is that it's like guaranteed no matter what, even if they have up on a decision. It's like, okay, what happened to performance-based pay? Like, everyone else is getting that.
They even have a golden parachute on their way out, so there's really no risk to them. Whatever they do, they'll be fine.
Well, it's the reason why they did that is because those guaranteed parachutes is to attract the best and brightest. But next thing you know, it fails to filter out some of the mediocre CEOs that get into those C-suite positions. What's their share price?
In February, they were $24. Current day, $14.
Oh.
I wonder if they lost talent during that period.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure, because this video is about a couple months old, like 2 to 3 months old. A lot of people must have jumped ship, and you know what? Good on them.
If you were incompetent and you worked for her, maybe you'd stay. But if you were competent, you did well, you met all your numbers, you excelled at your job, and having a CEO talk down to you like that, way, yeah, exactly, right?
I wouldn't even.
You're confident, you easily find another job somewhere else.
And I'd be very transparent with my exit interview.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was working there. I would not be working there afterwards, after getting that speech.
Right. All right, so that concludes our episode. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you learned something from our executive MBA grad from Queens.
Peace out.